Morning, this is Dave Lockwood. I'm with Removeitprosdemolition, Demolition, and this is our daily vlog. And what we're doing here is we are journaling what we are doing to open up our second location and to grow basically writing a couple of books on how to do things the way that we do them. And what we have is we have a repurpose driven junk removal and demolition business. What I mean by that is basically instead of taking everything to the dump, we repurpose a lot of stuff. So how do we do that? Simply by getting, when we do a demo on a house, let's say that it's got a kitchen and it's an average kitchen and it's got a washer and a dryer and maybe a refrigerator, maybe there's some things in the garage, things like that. And there's some leftover furniture, things like that, which these are all very common things to happen in our marketplace. So instead of just throwing that stuff into the dumpster or stuck in my garage and giving it away or whatever, we have created a business where we do the demolition, we do the junk removal, and we repurpose the stuff that makes sense to us. So we've been doing this, the repurposing part of it, including the junk removal, for about 17 years. We've been in the demolition business in a large way as Removeitprosdemolition Demolition since 2014. So we want to have some impact, and we want to maybe make some influence others to do the kind of things that we're doing. And that a lot of the recycling kind of things, they don't seem like they have any money in them. So in order for someone to do this and say do it as a full-time venture, it may seem like you can't make enough money. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Not only can you do that, but we have literally we have built wealth through doing this. So what I'm telling you about is some of the stuff that we got going on. We're going from this location that we have, which is in Bonita Springs, Florida, and we service primarily Naples and Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel and places like that, Marco Island. Coastal stuff, expensive stuff. Our service is typically picked up by people who very much value their time, and they understand that babysitting and doing demo stuff or having their $40 an hour guys doing demo is just not a good idea. What we do is we bring a very unique situation to the table. Is we show up with, first of all, we bid the job out and we say, okay, here's your price, and then here's your price if we get this stuff that you're not interested in keeping or doing something with. So that makes us fiercely competitive. Then we say, okay, when we come to the job, I'm going to bring a box truck so I can take the things that we've agreed to that I'm going to take and repurpose, and then I'm going to bring a dump trailer with me. So what I'm going to do is, as I do this job for you, I'm going to dismantle and load out everything every day as we go, what we're going to haul out. So we're going to take out the refrigerator, the stove, the kitchen, the vanities, the leftover furniture. We're going to put it all in the van, stuff that we're going to repurpose or donate. And then the rest of the stuff is going to go straight into the dump trailer. So it makes us very effective and makes us faster. We show up with every tool that you need to do the demo that we're coming to do. Okay, including if I need a generator, we'll bring that. We're typically going to bring 2 generators because if one of them quits on us, we want to make sure we can still get the job done. So that's what we do daily now. Now, how did we start doing that? Okay, well, we started in the junk removal business. You know, I went through the housing crash and I lost everything, and I started all over. And what I was doing to survive has become this business. So what I was doing is I was trying to just survive, and I didn't want my son to be in the public school system. I didn't want him subjected to all the crap that I dealt with when I went to school. Dealt with a lot of bullying, a lot of aggressive behavior, physical abuse, and it just wasn't fun. Let's just put it that way. Went to a school, my graduating class was 900. He went to school, his graduating class was like 30. Might even been 20. It's not very big. So, just kept a very close eye on him. Was very instrumental in making sure that he was hanging out with the kind of people that, that weren't going to help him get into trouble, and that were going to be a positive influence on him, and there was not going to be any of this physical or mental abuse going on like I dealt with when I grew up. So with all that in mind, so we started this business. We started with the junk removal. The junk removal, we started picking stuff up after the housing crash out of these houses that people who were foreclosed on, and they were just throwing the stuff out on the street. Then I started just selling the stuff on Craigslist while I was working for someone else doing some real estate stuff. Okay, I did that for a while. Then after a while, I'm starting to think, you know what? Logan's in bed. I think I'm going to go drive down the street in this rich neighborhood that I'm staying in right now, and I'll see what people put out to the curb. So I did that, and I started picking up stuff off the curb, scrap metal, and picking up different things, and I set it up, and I had a junky vehicle, and I had a wooden trailer, and I did that, and I started making pretty good money and starting to get ahead. So then I started thinking, how do I get more stuff? So then I started running junk removal ads. And there's a whole huge story behind all of this, and I don't want to get into that here. So those two things have created this business that we do now. Okay, so now we're going to do our second location. I want to take this all through the state of Florida. And Talon and Logan, my son, sort of my two sons, they run the business day to day. I would say I kind of like supervise the supervisors, and I'm there for the big and the problem issues and the things that it takes that I can add value from my experience. And then what I'm doing is I'm growing our brand. That's my portion of this. So we're going to Sarasota. Last week I went up there and I looked around, and I'm getting an idea where we want to put our location. We're kind of hesitant to buy a location straight out the gate because we don't know how the traffic flows up there. And if you get in the wrong traffic flow, you can end up spending a lot of times with your trucks just sitting dormant while they're waiting for traffic. So that's one thing. The other thing is we learned that we want to be closer to the dump. We have a very good location here in Bonita, but we're not as close to the dump as we would like. So if we had it to do over, we would have been closer to our dump. So we're doing those kind of things. So I'm kind of snooping around and asking around. I stopped into our favorite scrap metal place and talked to them about seeing whether or not they'll let us film there or not. And the knee jerk was no. So I sent them an email yesterday asking about that, because that's one of our best buckets for our YouTube channel. If they say no, so be it. We also talked to another big company here called All Scrap, and we're talking to them, and we're not looking to portray anybody in a bad light. In the scrap metal videos, there's some things that have gone on that are filmed that don't portray the company, not our company, their company, in very good light, because people who've been doing scrap metal for a long time, they're watching the videos and going, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. You're misleading. You're being dishonest, and so on and so forth. It's not us saying it. It's them saying it. Although a lot of it, I agree with it. I don't particularly understand why the scrap metal business is, I just don't understand why it's so. It just seems like it's so dishonest. It's kind of like buying a used car. You feel like, when do you ever buy a used car and walk off the lot and feel like you got a great deal? At least I haven't felt that way. So back to this. So we're hunting a location up there. Now, what happened to me yesterday was I had an epiphany, and it's funny, as you get older, you don't think as quickly as you do when you're younger. So I'm marching along, and I'm trying to figure out how to find an ad person, somebody that knows the ad stuff, and that's the key to your business. So let me tell you a story. We're doing a job in this very expensive country club, and the guy that we're doing the business for, these guys have bought like a $4 million house to flip. And we're doing the demo for him, and we're taking out the tile and everything. And at the end of the street, guess who lives there? The guy who owns Hertz Car Rental. He has a, it's not a Bentley, it's a Rolls Royce. And his plate says top SEO. Okay, so me being a young entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, I'm like, that's interesting. The guy that owns something so big would have something like that on his plate. So, as time goes on and I'm learning more about what we're doing and the fact that we want to expand, and through dumb luck, we've done what we've done. Now we're trying to learn how to do it and quantify it and be able to do it at a bigger level. So now I'm like, okay, this dude who owns this huge corporation, his plate says top SEO, top search engine optimization. Okay, so that told me everything I need to know. So that guy knows, and now I'm seeing this in other places. Alex Hormozy knows, Stephen King knows, all these guys, they know that the key to everything they do is in the marketing. Because you can have, and this is me learning because I've been learning like a sponge, that you could take a substandard product and put very good marketing behind it and sell something that's not the best. Now, you're probably not going to get to the word of mouth you could get if you sell a really good product. So that's what I learned. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this person. And I'm realizing that something like this is not readily available. And if you really know what you're doing in the advertising thing, you're going to be very, very well paid, and you're going to be very sought after. So for us to find who we need at a budget in a price range that we can afford to go through the learning curve with is unlikely. Now, I really love this stuff. I love to learn and I love to grow. However, it's very frustrating. I get into some of this stuff and I just don't have the focus time. Okay, so I get up really early. I get up at 5 o'clock. And the reason I get up at 5 o'clock is so that I can get 3 or 4 or 5 hours into the day without being interrupted. So right now I just finished up a video on how to put up Facebook ads. Well, they had this new update. Okay, I guess Apple changed a bunch of things around, and it takes all the rules that used to be in play and changed them. So I thought, you know what? I bet somebody's got this on YouTube. See how stupid I am? So I get on there, I start snooping around, and I run across this guy. I think his name's John Fogarty. He's out of Australia. And he is, he took a $500 business and made it into a $500 million business. So I'm pretty sure he probably knows what he's doing. And he's got this video on how to do a Facebook setup. Well, guess what I'm going to do today? I'm going to follow his video. I'm going to set up our Facebook. I've done Facebook ads so far. I just don't know if I'm doing it right. I just don't understand if I'm getting it fully put on correctly. I don't understand a lot of things about it. Well, I'm probably still not going to understand it very, very well, but I'm going to understand it enough that I'm going to be able to advertise our stuff. And that's something I'm going to do today. Then guess what? He's got another one out on Google Ads. Very frustrating dealing with Google Ads. Been advertising on Google AdWords is what it was called for years and years and years. And we've done well with it. Probably not nearly as effective as I could be. Probably spending more money than we need to be. Well, he's also got an ad. He's got a video out on that too. Super sharp guy, worth way more money than I am, willing to sit down and teach you how to do that. Well, he's running this $500 million company. Guess what his focus is? On the marketing. The marketing's the key. So I am going to become, I've done very well at it, honestly. If you take what we've done and where we've come from, and the fact that we have a 95 or 97% word of mouth, and the trucks, being billboards and everything, and all the stuff I learned from the real estate business and going through real estate training classes and stuff like that, we've done very well. Now, I don't know how to go to a new market and get traction right away. That's what I'm trying to learn. Once I do that, we're going to go to Sarasota, then we're going to go to Tampa. Then we're going to go to West Palm Beach. Then we're just going to march up and probably go to Venice. Or whichever the next richest, I think it's Jupiter, the next richest market here. So very excited. Going to learn this today. So at any rate, that's my vlog for today. And I'll talk to you about what it took to get this set up tomorrow. So it's Remove It Pros Demolition. We have a channel called Remove It Pros Pure Entrepreneur, which is what you're watching right now. Our main channel is Remove It Pros Demolition, and we have Remove It Pros Junk Removal, and that's where we're promoting how to go into the junk removal business with like zero money, and to build yourself a wealth building business. So anyway, Remove It Pros Demolition, and I'll see you on the next video.